o'clock, and it's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS AM 1160 and 101.1 FM. She is Kristen Koehler from IUP Lively Arts. I haven't seen you for a long, long time.
I know, it's been too long.
Where have you been, or is it me?
It's probably been me.
Well, it's good to have you back with us here in the studio as we talk about things going on the Lively Arts calendar, and it's a big calendar.
It's a big calendar. Yeah. You know, the half of the season may be over, but there's still a ton of stuff happening in the Lively Arts.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to share some of that with you today.
Yeah, well, we've got some great shows coming up.
We do. We have the Bubble Show coming up on Friday, and we are close to selling out for that. So if people are interested in coming, it's in Waller Hall, so it's a little bit smaller of a space, but it's only $5 for a child's ticket and $10 for an adult one. It's a shorter show, about 50 minutes, but, you know, it's for kids.
Now, explain this, because I think it's really a fascinating thing.
Well, Jeff Boyer has been doing shows for families for about over 20 years. And the Bubble Show is just a fun evening out where he'll combine bubble magic, comedy, music, and just put a fun evening together for families to enjoy with their kids.
Kids love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots
it looks like a lot of fun. Adults would love it, too.
Yeah, I think so. I don't, you know, I don't think they'll be dragged and not have a good time. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. But that's this Friday at 7 p.m. in Waller Hall. Yeah. And one thing that I'd like to encourage people, if they'd like to avoid ticket fees, I'd like to let people know, if you come to our box office during normal office hours, that's noon to 5, Monday through Friday, when we don't have breaks, you can avoid the $3 ticket fee. And just make sure you do that before the day or evening of show, and you can avoid that.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
Really, really good idea.
Still very low fee, but...
Yeah. All right, Sweet Remains.
Yes.
Wow, are they good?
Yeah, they're so good, and, you know, we have more tickets available for that, but I'd like to give a plug before the concert on Friday, March 1st at 8 p.m. in Gorell. We have a free movie screening. These guys are multi-talented. Yeah. They have created their own movie called The Independents, and it's getting a lot of buzz. It's won some awards at film festivals, and we are going to be doing a screening of their movie at 6:30 p.m. in Beard Auditorium in Stouffer Hall. Yeah. So that's free. And but we are limiting that to 2 tickets per person, but you do need a ticket for that. So we encourage people, if they'd like to see the guys, we're doing a Q&A with them as well. Oh, yeah. So if they'd like to see the movie before the concert and, you know, just get a little taste of them before the show, that'd be a fun way to do it.
So what time is the movie?
The movie is at 6:30 p.m.
Okay. And then the concert's at 8.
The concert's at 8 the following evening. And
they
are doing a noontime series at the library, too. I believe that's on the day of the show. So at noon on Friday, March 1st. Just wait for some confirmation on that. We're still working out some details, but I believe that's noon on Friday, March 1st. They're doing a little mini concert preview and answering some questions there at the campus library.
I think it's kind of neat. You're right about that. The movie, The Independents, it's got some really nice buzz.
It does. They've gotten some awards and some good reviews as well.
Hollywood Reporter liked it.
Yes, very much.
There you go.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, and one thing that isn't in the brochure, but I want to make sure I give a good plug for it, is something very exciting is happening on this coming Saturday, and that is Saturday, February 23rd. That's at 7:30 p.m. in Fisher Auditorium. This is the Defiant Requiem. And yes, Ryan Beacon is responsible for bringing this to our campus. And, you know, I really encourage people to go online to learn a little bit more about it. But it is... it's a I'm trying to figure out here. So it's a production that's interspersed with historic film, testimony from survivors of the concentration camps, and narration telling the moving story of courageous performances by prisoners of a World War II concentration camp. And this has been put together, and it is music. There is not only going to be the IUP chorale, that's led by Ryan Beacon, but they're also going to be joined by Penn State Altoona, Ivyside Pride, and there's going to be actors and performers and
There's
video.
a film element to it.
There's a film element to it as well, so it's multimedia. And the ticket prices are super reasonable. I believe they start at $6 for students or under 18 and military, $8 for seniors, and $10 regular.
Well, Murray Sidlin is the conductor.
Yes.
And he's going to be here on Indiana in the Morning tomorrow. And in fact, he's going to use our studios afterwards because they want him in one of the bigger markets to do a chat with them as well. So he's going to be doing that. This is something that is really, really, it's not only fascinating to watch, it really is informative. It tells us about what it was like for the people in the concentration camps. The instruments are authentic to the period and to the concentration camp. I think some of the instruments, at least, were actually used in the concentration camps for the performances. Okay. So it's really going to be fascinating. We'll talk with him tomorrow on the air.
So stay tuned for that. But these types of performances don't happen that often. They don't come along that often. So I really encourage people to come out and see it. Yeah. It's educational and it's going to be beautiful too.
Yeah, and that's tomorrow night?
No, actually
Thursday
that's
night?
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Saturday
Okay.
at 7:30 p.m. in Fisher.
I was in the same week anyway. All right, so that is on the way. The Sweet Remains is on March the 1st, and then we're looking ahead to Oleta Adams.
Oleta Adams, and she's going to be here on Friday, March 22nd, and we tried to find Friday evenings. So if people were looking for a good date night, you can either go to the Sweet Remains on Friday, March 1st, or Oleta Adams, she's one of those people where she has probably one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard.
That's amazing.
And I first heard about her back in when was that? Maybe the
90s.
The 90s
Yeah.
with Tears for Fears, Woman in Chains. She sang on that song. And I bought every CD after that she came out with.
But see, you said she's going to be here. She's actually going to get here.
Yeah.
She's going to get here on March
Here.
22nd. That was her big song.
That was her big song, was Get Here. So it's one of those things, go to YouTube, type in Get Here Oleta Adams. You know her. You just don't know that you know her. So
Yes, it is a wonderful
so that's
song.
going to be beautiful. And she sold over 2.5 million albums. And I think she's going to be a great performance for us.
She's going to be tremendous. Really, really good. Lots of good things coming in the spring season for IUP Lively Arts.
Yes.
My goodness, you've got the Ovation series, Rock of Ages, is coming in April.
Yep.
You've got Theater by the Grove. You've got all kinds of dance performances.
We do. Theater by the Grove, the Acorn Project is coming up soon. That's going to be February 27th through March 2nd. And on the final evening, March 2nd, that's also going to include 30,000 words. That's not in our brochure, but it's some alumni coming together for a production as well on that last evening. So if you're interested in coming to see the Acorn Project, support the students, you'd also be supporting the alumni if you came out on that final evening.
There you go.
And one final plug, and that would be for what's happening in our museums and galleries. We're still continuing on with Barbara Weisberger's one-woman group show. That's in the Kipp Gallery, and that runs through March 7th. And we have 2 exhibitions, Hard-Hatted Women and Women in Action. That's at the University Museum, and that is running from now through March 9th. So I think those are lots of different choices for people to choose from, for lots of wonderful things happening. Oh, and I think that I'm going to be here before, but just in case I'm not, IUP Faculty Chamber Music Recital on March 21st, and Cindy, an evening with dance and percussion on Saturday, March 30th.
Yeah, that one's the story of Cinderella.
Yes, I think that'll be a fun one.
With a twist.
With a twist, of course.
Good stuff. And then you're looking ahead to Theater by the Grove. They've got Pippin coming up.
Pippin.
Sound Choices has Twitter leader and Alzheimer's story on Sunday, May 5th. We'll talk about that when you're here in one of your subsequent visits as well. But it's just a good season of the year to be watching the arts. Here we are in the middle of winter, saying to ourselves,
Yeah.
how do we get out of the doldrums?
I know this is a way to do it. Get out and enjoy some time with people in your community.
Yeah, and see some great performances.
Yes.
Really looking forward to the Sweet Remains.
Well, I am too.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing them.
And this thing coming up on Saturday
Yes.
is going to be something else. I'm going to really get into it with Murray Sidlin tomorrow and find out.
I'll be sure to tune in and listen because
Cool.
I'm interested to hear it as well.
Murray's going to be on the air with us tomorrow at 10 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Kristen Koehler, IUP Lively Arts. Of course, anybody wants to know, it's iuplivelyarts.edu.
Correct.
And a Facebook page as well.
Just type in the Lively Arts at IUP.
There you go. There you go. Beautiful. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It is good to have you. It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS AM 1160 and 101.1 FM.